Hey guys, roadside assistance, AAA, those are words that should not be in a prepper's vocabulary. Being able to take care of your car and take care of emergencies is very important, especially for the preppers out there that have kids and family that they need to keep safe. Whether you're going to the store to get a loaf of bread or leaving town because there was just a tornado, it's important to have the proper gear in your car to take care of routine emergencies like a flat tire. Learn from me, I am the world's biggest dummy. I spent much of my younger days, in the days before cell phones and AAA and all that, sitting on the side of the road waiting for help. Why? Because I would buy cars and I didn't pay attention. I was just, I was an aloof young guy who didn't care and whatever, And, nothing worse than getting a car and finding out that some jackwagon at the dealership tightened down the lug nuts so tight that you can't get them off. Or that those cheap little worm gear jacks are rusted and you're not going to be able to turn them with that little rinky-dink, bent metal, pop metal handle that they give you. It's happened, guys. It's happened to me so much. I'm the world's unluckiest and dumbest person. If it can happen to me, it will. So I've learned over the years to be prepared for emergencies. So, you know what, guys? If you don't know what's in the back of your car, you need to pop open that spare compartment and take a look. If that equipment in there is not top-notch, you need to replace it. You need to get something good that you can take care of in any situation, in the cold, in the rain, in the snow. Like I said, if you bring your car to any kind of dealership, even get your car inspected, which I know a lot of people work on their own cars, and hey, I do too. But you know what? I still have to go get my car inspected, and I learned a lesson the hard way one time after an inspector put the lug nuts back on with an impact wrench and torqued them down so tight I couldn't get them off. Now with the rinky-dink, stupid little folding two-piece tire iron that came with my cheap, crappy car, spend some money, get good stuff. I highly recommend. Now tire irons are great, guys. They are. I got them. Got them in every car. But here's the thing about tire irons. There's been plenty of times where I've been trying to change a tire that some jackwagon put on, the lug nuts on super, super tight, and here I am jumping up and down on the tire iron trying to break those bolts. Why? Because your lever is only this long. Breaker bar, my lever is this long. I have almost twice as much torque in that longer lever than I do a tire iron. So even though this is a bigger tire iron, this is probably twice the size of the one that came with my car, mind you, I've still had lug nuts I could not get off with this. And granted, a lot of this because we're up here in the Northeast and we get a lot of salt and snow and things get rusted very easily. And it's not like you can put or grease up your lug nuts. You can't do it or else they'll go flying off. You can't do it. So with these, I like this. This is my favorite thing to keep in the car. Number one, they're really easy to get to. The tire iron, you might put a bunch of bags or gear on it. You got to pull all that out. This right here, you can just reach down and yank it out. Very easy to get to in an emergency. You get a lot of torque on these, a lot of power, and you can also make sure that you have exactly the right size. Now, my car has a metric lug nut, 21 millimeters. So I got a nice 21 millimeter deep impact socket and put it on here. It's in here, it's ready to go. Now, for example, if my wife has an emergency, a lot of these, like the 13/16 and the 7/8, are very close. My wife is not good at changing tires. There's a very good possibility she could put the wrong one on there and round out the lug nuts. Trust me, it does happen. People do that stuff all the time. I have the same setup in my wife's car. It makes it very easy for her. She appreciates it. Why? It takes all the thought process out of it for her. She knows literally all she has to do is put this on and go counterclockwise. Very simple for her, very easy. No thought, which one is it, And plus, she likes that longer lever. It's easier for her. She can break the bolts. I've kind of had her, I've shown her how to change a tire multiple times over the years. And I've had her compare a tire iron to this, and she says every time, this is way easier. yeah, you can't spin it, the tire iron, you can spin the thing and it's a little bit quicker. But when it comes to, brute force, she can break a bolt. She can break a lug nut way easier with this. So I think it's really important, not just your vehicle, but your wife's as well, your kids. If you have teenage kids, someone who's not that strong. I'm a strong guy, and I've had a lot of lug nuts over the years I couldn't break with a tire iron. Think about your wife doing that. Think about your kids doing that. Get them a good long breaker bar. Spend some good money, get a long breaker bar, get a good quality impact socket. It makes that a lot easier. Because you know what? You break that, then you can throw the tire iron on and do your little spin thing and call it a day. It's great. It works really good. And plus, too, when you're putting the lug nuts back on, you can just put them in the socket, put it on and spin it by hand and get that thing on there pretty quick. It's a pretty quick and efficient system. So I wanted to point it out. This is, a pretty good investment. And like I said, it simplifies things. If you do have a wife or kids or someone who's just ditzy, sorry, my wife is ditzy. I know if she ever saw this, she'd kill me. But having that and taking away the possibilities of failure and giving someone a better tool, that they can use, they have more leverage, they have more torque, it'll be easier for them in that emergency. And I think that's really important, and a really important thing to look into as well. And it's not just the tire iron, guys. It's everything. It's your jack, it's your spare tire, it's all of that. Make sure you have the right stuff in your car so that not only can you use it, but your family, your kids, your wife, and all that, so that if there is an emergency, you're not having to rely on roadside assistance.